Wake up one morning thinking it'll just be you, a hammer and the sound of the wind in the trees, then end up staring down a pack of wannabe enforcers with clipboards and fake badges threatening to bulldoze your life. Yeah, me neither. At least not until that day. And let me tell you nothing. Not Afghanistan, not hurricane season in North Carolina, prepared me for the particular breed of madness that is a fake HOA patrol trying to evict a man from his own mountain. So there I was, 30 feet up, a creaky old ladder patching the shingles on my cabin roof, mountain breeze slapping me awake, sweat stinging my eyes, birds in the distance chirping like they owned the place. This spot hand-built back in the 60s, not a square inch of drywall or granite countertops, just honest wood and stories sunk deep into the floorboards. Out here, the only rules were the ones written by storms and time. No city council, no nosy neighbors, especially no HOA. Hell, that's half the reason I bought the place, just me, the trees, and enough peace to fill a lifetime. Of course, peace is always temporary, right? I heard them before I saw them. Tires humming too smooth for the rutted dirt road, a V8 growling up the ridge like it had something to prove. I'm thinking lost tourist, maybe a local come to gripe about the no trespassing sign. But no. Into my clearing rolls a white pickup, Evergreen Peaks HOA, stamped on the side in those sad green block letters like they were trying way too hard to look official. Stuck on the door, Community Enforcement Patrol Division. Honestly, you couldn't make it up. 3 guys hop out, all khaki uniforms and dollar store badges, just close enough to fool the kind of folks who flinch at anyone with a laminated card. The tallest one grips a clipboard like it's a weapon, sunglasses glued to his face, even though the sun's barely above the trees. They look like security guards auditioning for a movie nobody asked for. "You, Mr. Grayson?" clipboard asks, voice full of the smugness of a man who's never been in a real fight. "Yeah, that's me," I say, not moving. "Who are you supposed to be?" "We're officers with the Evergreen Peaks Homeowners Association Patrol Division," he says, like that's supposed to mean something out here. "We're here to serve you this notice of immediate eviction for non-compliance with environmental and structural ordinances per the Cascadia Valley Zoning Compact." He hands me this paper, fancy letterhead, shiny seal paragraphs written in that font lawyers use to make you feel small. I look at it, scan a few lines, and it's pure steaming. Well, you get it. I let him finish his little speech, then I tell him, real calm, "This is private land. I own it outright. This isn't part of your HOA." He barely skips a beat. The Evergreen Peaks HOA recently extended its jurisdictional boundaries to include all properties along the northern ridge, he says, eyes cold. "As of June 1st, your structure falls under our authority." Now, maybe you've had a run-in with this kind of person. Someone who mistakes paperwork for power, who thinks if they just say something with enough certainty, it becomes true. "You extended your jurisdiction," I ask. "What is this, the Roman Empire?" Not a smile from any of them. "You have 2 hours to vacate," Sunglasses says. "At that point, we'll begin environmental remediation and structure disassembly. You may remove your belongings before we begin." I had to laugh. Honest, couldn't help it. "You planning to tear my cabin down with that clipboard?" Clipboard guy turns all official. "You've been notified. Failure to comply will result in additional penalties under the Unified Property Management Statute, Section 9, Subsection 3. "There's no such statute," I shoot back. He just smirks. "We suggest you make the wise decision." They pile back in the truck, reverse out, like they've delivered the word of God. I just stand there, dust, settling the notice in my hand, and I feel that familiar spark, the one right before you know things are about to go sideways. It wasn't just their arrogance. It was the way they wrapped it all up in pretend law like nobody would notice. So what do? I go inside, dig out my deed, check the GPS, compare it to the laminated county parcel map I keep under the cutlery drawer. Still mine, still outside their reach. But then I call the sheriff just to be sure. Dispatcher sounds distracted, says there's already been a call from my location. Claims some unknown armed squatters threatening hikers. "We'll send a wellness check." My blood runs cold. "Ma'am, this is Thomas Grayson, U.S. Marine retired. I own this land. No hikers here, nobody's threatened." She's just reading from a script. "We'll verify, but it might take hours." I hang up. That's when I realize they're setting me up. I've seen this play before overseas and here at home. Fake reports, false documents stall the real authorities while you run your scam. I don't panic. I move. Check the perimeter footprints in the gravel tire tracks, even mud by the generator. They've scoped the place out, not just dropped by for a neighborly chat. Back inside, I bolt the door flip on my laptop and pull up the feed's solar cams hidden all over habit from a lifetime of not trusting good luck. Nothing on screen yet. But I know they'll be back. 2 hours, remember. So I grab essentials documents, drives a sidearm just in case, never wanted to use it, but I'm not letting anyone tear my house down while I wave a piece of paper. Then I call the only backup I trust, Mark and Jose, code words, no details. If they're close, they'll come. If not, I'm still ready. About 45 minutes later, second truck. 2 vehicles this time, another white pickup plus a gray trailer with tools clanking, generator on the back, men in tan uniforms. This isn't neighborly, this is intimidation. 8 guys, now gloves, utility belts, one even has a gas torch like they're fixing to weld their way into Fort Knox. I step onto the porch, hands visible. This is private land. You're trespassing, I say, steady as I can. Clipboard and his heavy-set pal are back. You were notified, Heavy says. Your structure is non-compliant under the updated charter. We're authorized to begin remediation. They fan out, one to the power pole, one at the shed, another hauling gear. You're making a mistake, I warn. Everything's recorded, multiple angles. Don't push it. One of them smiles, nasty little grin. This area is under community management now. Building listed as abandoned hazard. Pre-authorization from who I ask. Our board. Our president. Judge Judy signed that warrant too. He tries to hand me more papers. I don't take them. Instead, I duck back inside, grab the landline, call the sheriff again. No answer. Try the backup. Finally, a tired deputy picks up. This is Thomas Grayson on Hollow Ridge Spur. There are armed individuals, not law enforcement, attempting forced entry and destruction of property, active trespass. She sounds rattled, promises to escalate, says they're backed up. Outside, they're running extension cords poking at my foundation, one guy actually measuring the beams like he's an architect. I open the window and give them one last warning, 30 seconds to leave before they cross into criminal liability. They just stare like I'm the one losing my mind. Now maybe you're wondering, was I scared? Sure. But more than that, I was angry. Angry at the nerve, the audacity. I watched through my cams, catching every face, every badge number, fake as Monopoly money. These aren't enforcers. They're weekend warriors pretending. Then movement at the ridge. Mark's Jeep. Black lifted American flag faded on the spare tire. Mark and Jose step out, no body armor, no guns showing, just hiking gear and a look that says, try me. Mark's carrying a case. Jose's got the drone kit. No words needed, we've done this before. They walk up, Mark flicks on the GoPro. Jose launches the drone live feed to my laptop. We head out together, me in the middle. The HOA crowd freezes, clipboard guy loses color, saw guy steps back, suddenly remembering he's not paid enough for this. You are trespassing, I say loud. I own this land. You touch anything, you're liable. Mark steps forward, camera in the guy's face. Keep talking. You'll look great in court. Jose calls out, got faces, plates, audio, all streaming. Clipboard tries to save face, pulls out a map. Mark just laughs. Nice try. That's a doctored overlay, doesn't apply here. Heavyset guy tries to walk off. Jose drops the drone to eye level, guy freezes. Then the panic starts. One of them shouts, he's got a gun. This is America, I reply. Second Amendment, congratulations. Then over their radios, Karen's voice, frantic, screaming, fall back, abort, do not engage. Suddenly the tough guys aren't so tough, scrambling, packing up, burning rubber out of there. Mark grins, don't forget your lawsuit. They're gone in a cloud of dust. But they left something half-buried field folder under a bush. Inside we find the smoking gun, fake maps, meeting notes, emergency vote logs, removal authorization. The signatures, Karen at the top, followed by her crew. Even internal talking points for the press if it came to that. At the bottom, Oakvale Private Security Solutions, not licensed, not legal. We photograph everything, scan the docs, and I call Rhonda, my lawyer, ex-federal prosecutor. She hears my story, says send it all. If even half's true, they're done. Mark uploads the video, Jose backs up the drone feed. I fire off complaints to the prosecutor and licensing board, then send it all to a local investigative reporter. An hour later, the phone rings. Tasha from Fieldline News. This is gold, she says. Can I go public? Make it loud, I tell her. By sunset, it's online headlines screaming about HOA thugs targeting a Marine, footage of their faces, their threats, my refusal to budge. My inbox explodes, other vets, neighbors, reporters, even a congressman's aide. But one message stands out, a scan of a donation record. The money behind Karen's HOA, a shadowy developer, Devlin Ridge Developments, land sharks notorious for hostile takeovers. My little cabin was just the last piece in a big money puzzle. That night, we reinforced the property. Next day, Sheriff's Deputy Curtis finally shows. He's nervous, not unfriendly. I hand him everything flash drives footage docs. "You're not the first," he mutters. Turns out Karen's filed complaints against everyone, hikers, rangers, even the mailman. She's community security director, but nobody ever gave her that power. Rhonda confirms it all. The HOA's only 18 months old. Their own boundary filings exclude my land. Karen's map is junk. Her fake patrol illegal. Her security company unlicensed. Rhonda files for an injunction, calls for testimony from every victim. I talked to Hank at the bait shop. He's had run-ins with her too. Even the ranger. Pattern established. And then retaliation. The creek by my cabin, my only fresh water. Someone dumps concrete upstream, blocks the flow. Jose's furious, calls it eco-sabotage. We film it. Rhonda's hydrologist confirms criminal environmental interference. It all comes to a head one afternoon. Convoy of trucks, guys in riot gear, megaphones. Karen's done hiding. They smash my private property sign, fan out, ready to storm the place. I give one last warning, 30 seconds, all being recorded. Mark blares a warning from the drone. And then, like a gift from the universe, sirens, real law enforcement, actual deputies roll in, guns drawn. "Drop the tools, hands in the air." Karen tries to argue. Curtis shuts her down. "Not anymore, Karen." Her empire crumbles in real time. Her crew zip-tied, fake documents seized, clubhouse raided. Turns out she's been filing fake reports on dozens of people, not just me. The local news runs the story. Marine stands ground against HOA raid. Public outrage. GoFundMe hits 6 figures. Karen indicted for conspiracy, forgery, and filing false reports. Her lieutenants flip emails, spill out every detail. The judge calls it what it is, a hostile takeover, not community management. The HOA is dissolved. My damages, $370,000 and counting. But here's the thing, and listen close, it was never about the money. The real win is quiet. It's the way the air feels now when I open my door. No trucks, no threats, just wind and old trees. The peace I fought for, earned, not given. You know, after all that, I found myself wondering how many times has power dressed up as law tried to muscle folks off what's rightfully theirs, and how many stand up, call their bluff, risk everything just to keep what's theirs. So I gotta ask, if someone came for your home, would you fight or fold? Ever dealt with a power-hungry group hiding behind fake authority? Let me know. Because sometimes the only thing that stands between you and a mob with clipboards is you.
Cảm ơn các bạn đã xem video.